Hello, and welcome to Point and Drink Adventure, a podcast where we talk about the drinks and the media that we are consuming. I am Pam, and with me, as always, is Michelle.
Yay! I'm Michelle. I feel like it's been a while. We haven't done these in a couple weeks. We've been really bad lately.
We have been very bad about watching or playing or finishing anything much. Yeah. So, yes, it's nice to be back recording, though.
Yes, it is, for sure. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because we both had rough days. It's been a week.
We did, yes. It's been a week.
It's been a week. It's been a life. But that's okay. Mm-hmm. So, ready to stuff our face with this wine.
Yes, I've been waiting ever since, I got off work. Well, actually, my meetings ended around 3, and since then, I've been I'm ready to record now. I actually did, when I had my dinner, I had, a little glass of the wine, because I just really wanted some.
Spoiler.
I know.
That's fine.
But yes, what are we drinking today?
What are we drinking? So Pam likes big, tannic, Italian wine and boys,
sure
right?
Do.
Sure. So I was like, you know what? Let's have some Ripasso. So have you ever had Ripasso before? Yes. Zenato. What is this called? It's from Zenato. It's called Ripassa. Valpolicella Ripasso Superiore from 2018. We actually have the same wine this time.
Nice.
This never happens.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had Ripasso? Do you like Ripasso?
I have definitely had Ripasso before. It's my mom's favorite wine is Amarone, and this is a little baby mini Amarone almost. So I've had this a number of times before.
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. If you've never had Ripasso before, Ripasso comes from the region of Valpolicella, which is pretty much right around Venice, just a little bit north around that area-ish, around Venice. And so within Valpolicella, you'll just have your big fruity regular red wine, your regular. Then you'll have Ripasso, and then Amarone, and then Ricciotto, which is the sweet version of it. Ripasso, Amarone, and Ricciotto are different variations of drying, Amarone being the most expensive, because Ricciotto is a sweet wine. And then Ripasso, meaning repass, second pass, is the happy medium between the super fruity and the super expensive, very dry Amarone. So it's the people consider it the baby of Amarone, which is pretty much technically true, because how they make it is they make Amarone, and then once they let it go, it's the first pass is Amarone, and then the second pass, the second that's Ripasso. So they use this the leftovers, which is fine.
Right. Yeah. We use it for something.
Let's look at this beautiful purpley color. It's hard to see in the light, but
super dark. It's just really sort of burgundy, dark purpley burgundy.
Freaking beautiful.
Yes.
And that nose, you kind of smell it's this. These boys are a little bit higher in alcohol. On the bottle it says 14.5, but really it's going to be 15. So by the end of this, we're going to be plastered. It's going to be great.
I'm getting a little bit of vanilla and spice, and even like a tobacco. Not a whole lot of fruit on the nose, more of those sort of crunchy kind of earthy.
Crunchy earthy. I love that. Yes. Yeah, definitely that tobacco earthiness to it, but not a good clean earth. This feels nice and bright still. There's really dark cherry, dark plum tobacco. This would be so good with risotto and pork or something.
Yeah, for sure.
That little
full-bodied. It's I'm definitely getting more fruit on the palate than on the nose. It's definitely got those sort of jammy dark berries or dark fruits in it.
I like that though, because it's complemented by the drying sensation from all the tannins of it. You have fruit on the front end, and then tannin chunky tannins right in the mid palate.
I'm not getting a lot of tannins from this.
Ooh.
I'm actually finding it's kind of, I don't know, like brighter than I would expect for an Italian red. Like it's kind of like a little bit higher on acid than. Yeah, I'm not getting a ton of tannins. I'm just getting like a lot of like body and some acid.
Do you like it though? Is that bad?
Oh, I do like it. I mean, I love my tannins, but no, this is really nice as well.
Yeah, I like its balance of fruit with the body with it. Like it feels like it doesn't feel heavy and weighed down. It still feels nice and easy to drink, even though like it's a big boy.
Yes, for sure.
So do you think like this kind of style of wine, like the drying of grapes, especially Amarone, is your mom's favorite, and I know Barolo is your favorite? Would this come like I don't know, this kind of style again, Amarone being the king, as one of your favorite styles?
Favorite styles for Italian specifically, or yeah,
overall,
yeah. This is good. I still think, I don't know, I'm sort of on the sort of more tannic side, so like the Barolos, the like Cabernet Sauvignon, stuff like that. But I really like this. It's very easy drinking. It doesn't. I mean, sometimes with like the really tannic wines, I can get almost like allergy feeling, but I just like love it so much. This doesn't give me that feeling.
Yeah, I love these styles of wine. Maybe not my go-to necessarily, but the fruitiness in this really makes me enjoy this, especially as a sipper. And it wasn't too expensive. What was it, like $25? I think.
Yeah, I think mine was like $28 Canadian. Yeah. So yeah, not too bad.
Not bad. I mean, Amarone is more expensive just because it's a really expensive way to make wine, honestly. I mean, sitting there drying the grapes before you ferment it and such. They usually run, you get varying, but like 40 to 50-ish. And then the big, like super producers, like you can get stupid expensive. But I like it because it's that happy mid-range. Like if you're just looking for something a little bit bigger, a little bit more oomph to it, and you don't want to break the bank. Ripasso.
Yes. It's very good for that.
So as we drinking, we gonna talk about things, and I have not been watching freaking anything, but what have you been watching, Pam?
What have I been watching? So, I don't know if I should have put this on here. I watched Crimes of the Future.
I have no
which
idea what that
is the latest Cronenberg movie. It's got Kristen Stewart, Viggo Mortensen, about this guy who is like him and his partner are performance artists, and surgery has become like the sort of world's new art form, but also kind of the world's new sex.
You know it is. Surgery is the new sex.
It's all very strange. Cronenberg just loves making vaginas in other parts of the bodies where they don't go, and this is quite full of that.
Wow. So you be like having vaginas in like your leg or something like that?
I mean, there's just a lot of like surgery imagery where they're just like cutting, entrances into the body all over the place. So yeah, it's a strange one. The reason I was like, should I talk about this, was that I did fall asleep for the last 30 minutes or so. I had it summed up for me, but I did miss the ending.
I see. So it's a slow mover, huh? Not too into it?
It is pretty slow. There's not a whole lot of action. There's just a whole lot of body horror in it.
So visually, like Cronenberg, I guess visually with the whole effects, I mean, that's what we're known for, especially when we watch like The Fly and stuff. Well, just a lot of like that. So
yeah.
I got you.
So yeah, a lot of that. Like it's shot really, really interestingly. And yeah, I like all the actors in it, especially Kristen Stewart. Her character's just kind of a weirdo in it. But yeah, it's, you know, if you like body horror, it's a pretty good one. But yeah, it's a strange thing. Oh, and there's this whole other second storyline that I completely forgot about a boy who eats plastic.
Plastic? Like,
yeah, about sort of humans evolving to eat plastic.
Ew. I was just thinking about eating chips, and now it's plastic. Crunchy plastic.
Yeah, it opens with this little boy, and he just like goes into the bathroom and starts eating the waste paper bin, and it's a strange movie. That's strange.
Do you like Cronenberg overall?
I like what I've seen. Like, what did he do? Videodrome? Did he do that one?
Yes,
I think he did. I have no idea. I like that one, and then I remember watching one. It was sort of like a zombie one with the. Were you not there for that? The woman, she like gets an extra mouth vagina on her body that she attacks people with. Like,
I have not.
You know, they're just weird movies, but I like them. I like the effects and things in them. But
I think I've only seen The Fly, which we watched together. And A History of Violence, which I did not like at all. I did not like A History of Violence at all.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen that one. But I think Rabbit is the other one.
I don't think I was there for that one. Yeah, I've not seen many of his movies besides The Fly. Which The Fly I really liked. I mean, who doesn't like Gina Davis? Let's be real. I'm being biased.
And Jeff Goldblum.
And sexy Jeff Goldblum while they were dating and married. Were they married at the time? They were at least dating. Sexy. That man, he's so strange looking but so sexy. It's But yeah, cool. David Cronenberg.
it was interesting. And now I'm also making a connection. Another movie which I didn't put on here that it was a rewatch was Repo the Genetic Opera. And it's it's like a goth opera musical, and it takes place in a world where everyone has become addicted to surgery. So it's kind of similar in a few ways to Crimes of the Future, but everyone's organs have started failing in this world. So this company GeneCo like sells them new organs, but if they can't pay, then they send the Repo Man after them. And the Repo Man repossesses the organs, but in a very violent way that I don't think preserves the integrity of the organs at all. And it's about that, as well as some other characters. And it's very silly, but I also really enjoy it. I've seen that movie like a dozen times, and the soundtrack I listen to fairly frequently. But yeah, I watched that again. I just thought like, oh, surgery is entertainment and a means of things that people get addicted to.
I mean, it's honestly true. Like, people getting addicted to plastic surgery and just taking that extreme. So cool. Cronenberg. Love it. My movies are not nearly as, I mean, I've really only watched 2 movies. Yeah, not nearly as fascinating as, unless you count Star Trek. Which is a good segue. Because in Star Trek, they do some like weird weird like body stuff. Like, okay, so I'm still on my Star Trek journey, but I just finished season 6, and I'm on to season 7, which is the final season. And
TNG, right?
TNG,
right?
Yeah. The Next Generation with sexy Picard, because let's be real, he's the sexiest man alive. And season 6 was absolutely amazing. I think overall, it's my favorite season so far. Like,
oh wow,
episode to episode, just like the consistency of it. Some episodes, of course, being better than others, but I think just the overall of it. I mean, it doesn't have my favorite episode of all time in it yet. Still, that's in season 3 with Data and his daughter. Oh my god, I should know the name of it, but Data has a daughter, and that episode is fantastic. But like episodes in this one that were fantastic, Tapestry, which is a Q tapestry. I'm sorry, that's not a Q episode, was it? Oh my god. There is a Q episode in it. Tapestry, yes, it is a Q episode.
Okay.
What else did I say? Frame of Mind, Face of the Enemy, which is a Deanna episode, which was fantastic. Love them. Love Star Trek The Next Generation. Kind of obsessed. Trying to make my way through season 7, so hopefully maybe by the next time we record, I'll complete the whole thing. And then I'll be like, yo, this is my jam. I'm going to have to go on to Deep Space Nine after this because now I'm obsessed. And then watch the movies and be very disappointed because I hear the Star Trek movies or The Next Generation are very disappointing. But you know what? That's okay. So
that's okay.
Star Trek's awesome. Quick and dirty. Picard's sexy. But what other movie you've been watching? The next one on the list I also just watched, so maybe that one?
Yes. So a movie that's sort of been on my to-watch list for a while that I finally just watched the first time is Amelie.
Yay!
Which apparently is like 20 years old now.
2001.
2000, what? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Amelie is a French film about a young woman who lives in Paris, and she's kind of like young and naive and like doesn't have a whole lot going for her in her own life, but decides that she's kind of going to be a do-gooder and help out the people around her. And it's just incredibly nice and charming.
Isn't it? I was just like, oh, it's so sweet and so creative and so beautifully shot and so fantasy-like. It's not in a fantasy, but she's such a dreamer, and bringing that dreamscape into the cinema. It's so lovely. It's so cute.
Yeah, it's so nice. I love so many of the choices, like just like the style of it and how they introduce every character. It's like this person doesn't like loud noises, but they do like removing everything from their purse and then putting it back in. It's like
it was so cute.
It was really cute. Yeah. It also, I definitely cried at the end. Like at the end, it was like, she was like, oh, it's sort of her journey into like, okay, well, like she can do all this great stuff for other people, but like, hey, maybe you should make yourself happy as well and do something for yourself. And I'm like,
you cried? Oh my God. That's adorable. I love it. Oh, I'm so glad you liked it.
It was really nice. I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved Audrey Tautou, however you might pronounce her name, her fabulous, iconic haircut.
Oh my God, her haircut. She's so cute. Everything. Her eyebrows, her cute little smile.
She's like not a stitch of makeup on the girl, and it's just like perfection with the cheekbones and just the cute hair and all the bobby pins. I love all the bobby pins she uses in her hair to like hold it back, and I was like, oh my God. And her outfits are adorable. Her little like Doc Marten Oxford things and the socks.
Yes.
Oh, and then it's such a cute little love story too. And could you imagine? I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, could you imagine like this happening to you? Like, like going on like little adventure, like little scavenger hunts.
I know.
Like to get
it's a date. So cute. Aww.
So creepy that would be now, but then I freaking love it. Yeah, I mean, movies try to replicate that style and that kind of fantasy like now because it was done so well. I was so pleased. I watched it literally an hour ago. So cute. It made me so happy. It really brightened my day after a shitty day. I watched that and I was like, like crying on the couch. Yes, we had a happy movie.
Yes.
And my turn. I'll talk about King Richard. So
okay.
I went and visited our friends down in Virginia this past weekend, and it was so fun. But I had some time in the hotel room, which is great. I don't care. Like I feel like I have such a great time in the hotel room, just flipping through HBO and Cinemax, like just laying in bed watching on this TV.
It's so much better doing things in a hotel room. Like remember when we went to MagFest last year, and we're just like watching Titanic.
I until we fell asleep. It was so good. It's so fun, just like sitting in a hotel room watching movies. Oh,
Yep.
But this one I hadn't seen before. I mean, I watched like Wayne's World and like a bunch of other movies I had seen. It was so good. But King Richard I had not seen before. And I really wanted to watch it just to see how good Will Smith was because, you know, the post-movie, it has the famous, you know, slap it, Chris Rock.
Oh, wow. Wow.
At the Oscars, which he won for. But I was honestly surprised how much I liked the movie.
Oh, okay.
Because I was expecting it to be sort of like one of those in-your-face movies, like with their agenda kind of deal. You know what I mean? Because it's about... Oh, that's true. I should talk about what the actual premise is. So King Richard, so it's about Serena Williams and Venus Williams' dad. And how he had this revelation in Compton, California when his kids were like super young that they're going to be tennis superstars because he played tennis, his wife played tennis, they were both athletes, and he's like, this is it, this is the opportunity for them as well as for this community and for them. So it's really about him and Venus, not so much about Serena, and them in their like, we'll say like 6 to 16 years old is when Venus it kind of ends when she's 16, when she turns like super pro and gets like signs a contract for like $15 million. So about his relationship with his kids, relationship with the community going through this, as well as like how to deal being a sports parent, which I really related to, and seeing all the crazies that can happen in sports. And, you know, like just driving your kids into the ground. And he didn't do that, which I appreciated because my father did not do that to me. He never told me that you should be better. Well, what are you doing about that? It was always, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Having fun?
Having fun? I mean, sure. Sometimes it wasn't fun, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I was surprised how much I liked the movie because it was interesting and it didn't throw an agenda at me. And there was like one part I was like cried at because like Serena's sort of like in the back end of this movie. And whether or not all this stuff is true, I don't care. You know, some of it obviously might be somewhat true, but he has this conversation with Serena that like resonated with me. He's like, I know you're in Venus's shadow right now, but I put you there because you're going to be the greatest there ever was because I know you can handle it. I was like, oh my God. So, yeah, I really liked it. Will Smith as a person, post-move outside of this, you know, I feel like he's kind of like, what's his face? Like Tom Cruise. Great movies. Complete fucking psycho. You know what I mean? Like, let's just for the movies. I don't care how you are outside of it. So yeah, King Richard.
Awesome.
What have you watched?
So I watched a couple more movies they're both kind of relationship movies with a twist. The first one is called Spring, and it was directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, who made another movie I really liked called The Endless, which is like a cult time travel movie. They're cool movies that kind of start out kind of mundane, but then like get weird and surreal in some kind of way. So this is just about a young man who he's really close to his mother and she dies of cancer, and he kind of like, you know, spirals a bit out of control and gets in some trouble, and he decides to go to Italy.
Hold on a second. Should I go to Italy?
And he meets a girl in Italy who shows interest in him, and he doesn't really trust her at first, but it's sort of about their story of sort of growing closer together. But then she has a secret of some kind, and it's just sort of how that is dealt with and how their relationship progresses. And I don't want to say too much about it because it's sort of like a little bit unexpected, but it was really good.
Secret.
Very enjoyable.
I don't know the secret. Cool. Like, so is it kind of sci-fi-y?
Yeah, like kind of sci-fi fantasy-y. Like,
yeah. Romantic sci-fi fantasy. My jam.
Yeah. So that was really good. And then another one that I watched is called The One That I Love. And I had never heard of this movie before. I was just scrolling through Amazon Prime and it was like recommended for you. And it has Elizabeth Moss and Mark Duplass. And I was like, oh, like, I like those people. And so they're a married couple. It starts out they're in therapy and like their relationship's kind of falling apart. Their therapist, who's Ted Danson, recommends they go to this place because every couple he sent there has like had their relationship renewed. So they go to this place. It's just like a house with a little guest house beside it. And it too is like a relationship movie, but then things take like a Twilight Zone turn.
Twilight Zone turn. Ooh. Fun.
Yeah, and it was really good. It was so surprising just because I'd never heard of it, but I enjoyed it a lot. Both of the leads were excellent in the movie. And yeah, it was also just sort of kind of charming, rather weird, makes you think. Like,
ooh, a thinker, especially about relationships. Ooh,
a relationship thinker.
Oh no, I don't need that in my life, do I? I do.
But yeah, it was cool. I want to talk to someone about it who has seen it because I don't know anyone who's seen it.
I've never heard of either one of these movies. So
yeah.
Okay, I will look this up. I'm gonna put like a stupid little highlighter in our little document here, and Michelle's gonna watch it because I need a thinker. I need a relationship thinker. Let's do this.
All right.
So then our next podcast, we can be like, okay, remember that movie we watched previously?
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I watched it
for real. All right.
So that's all the movies we've watched. I know we did, or movies and shows we had watched. Not really much going on besides the first episode of that Korean workout thing.
This is too big. I need a different one. This weighs 100 pounds.
Yes, I love the one you got me because it's so manageable. I had that one before and it cracked, so I was like, I should not be drinking out of cracked glass. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But this one is like so manageable. I love it, and it's still thin and beautiful. So yeah. So yeah, let's talk about video games. You have a lot more than I do, so because I've played like 2 things.
Yes. So I have a couple replays on here. I played through This War of Mine because I had recommended that to Dylan, and Dylan was playing it, and then I was like, you know what? I want to play This War of Mine. So I started a new game, and this is sort of like a survival sim game taking place in sort of Eastern Europe during a war, and you're just people living in the country trying to make it through. So you can start off and you can have a variety of different characters, and they each have their own little perks, like some are good at scavenging, or maybe someone's better at cooking. And you go through your house and you have to like upgrade it. So you have to like build a stove so you can stay warm in the winter, and you build a work table so you can build other things. You can get weapons so that you can defend your house from looters who might come along. And then every night you go out into the world to scavenge and find materials so that you can craft all that stuff. And your characters can get sick, they can get wounded. Combat is very difficult, so if you happen to get into combat, there's a good chance you're going to die or get wounded. And you just have to basically survive your way through the war. So I had a couple of false starts where I lost someone pretty quickly, and then as soon as I lost someone, I was just like, no, just restart. Also, it's really difficult to play. Like if you start out with 3 people and then you only have 2, it's difficult because every night one person you want to go out to scavenge, one person to defend the house, and then the other person gets to sleep. So if you like lose one of those, then like no one's sleeping, or you have to sleep during the day. It just gets very hard to manage everything with less people, I find. So I went through and I managed to get through an entire playthrough. By the end of it, I actually only had one person left. She was wounded. She was sick. I was just having her like sleep through the day, stay up, and like defend the house at night. And I was just hoping, like, come on, war, end. So it's like, it's a pretty depressing game.
Oh my god!
But I've played it before, and it's just one of those games that just like gets me completely hooked. So I played through that, as well as they put out some DLC, which are sort of more narrative-based little stories where you have a little bit more of a narrative hook than just surviving. So I played a couple of those as well.
What kind of combat is it? Like, are we talking like, first-person shootery, or like, top-down run around?
So the whole game is just like on a 2D thing. So you have like a sort of cross-section of the house. So you go into a house or a supermarket or a gas station, and if there's other looters there or soldiers, they can fight you. So they can just like shoot at you, in which case you just have to hide, or like you can get in melee combat, but it's just like a very sort of rudimentary, like, click on them to try to punch them or run away.
Okay. So there's so it's not like a QT or anything, or like you're actually like, aiming and things. It's like mash that button.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. That would stress me the fuck out. But I feel like you like stressful games like that, like XCOM.
I do like stressful games. Yeah.
You really like to stress yourself out in games, which I sometimes I do. I mean, I played Elden Ring. That's stressful as fuck for me, but...
No, I do like Darkest Dungeon, and I like that stuff, yeah.
He likes to die. I get it.
Yeah. Or get other people killed.
Is this just on Xbox, or is this on, like, all the things?
I think it's pretty much in everything. I played it on PC the first time, but Xbox the second time. So, yeah.
Cool.
And I'm pretty sure they're donating all their sales. I'm not sure if they still are, but at one point they were donating all their sales to the Ukraine
now
refugees.
I love them.
So, yeah.
No, I love them not knowing the game. Fantastic. Awesome. So, should you go again, or should we do Vermintide? I mean, let's do Vermintide.
We can do Vermintide.
We do Vermintide. Yeah. We had discussed slightly Vermintide previously because we were playing through it, and we finally finished it last night. And what'd you think, Pam? What'd you think of Warhammer Vermintide?
I liked it. It's one of the best 4-player co-op games we played in a while, I think. It's just this... I don't know much about Warhammer. Like, I've never been a Warhammer person, but you're in this world. Everything has funny names. You fight giant rat people. And yeah, there was just multiple classes, each of which had their own sort of strengths and weaknesses. And you go through different levels, all of which look very different, which I enjoyed. Because some of those games can get really samey. But yeah, everything looked different. Like, there was forests, there was castles, there was... Lily, what's wrong? There was...
Lily wants to share a little toy.
She does this. She just had a good treat, and after she finishes a good treat, she just gets sad and walks around with a toy in her mouth, whining. So this is what's happening currently. Yep, there you are. But yeah, I thought it was good. Like, the combat was fun. I really liked my class, the pyromancer. The melee combat felt good. The ranged combat felt good. Yeah, it was fun.
I really enjoyed playing through it. I kind of wish there was I felt like an end to it. Like, you fight a big boss. You know what I mean? Like, at the end, like, when we played, like, I don't know, Zombie Arlie Trilogy, you fight Hitler in the end. Like, I kind of wish there was a big bad that we finished with.
Right. Because there was one kind of big bad. I mean, like, just in the main, like, the first campaign.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe?
See, that was so long. There's so many DLC. I can't disassociate, like, which was part of the main story and which was DLC. Okay, you're right. Never mind.
Because I think there might have been one in the main story, but then there was a bunch of DLCs that just had, like, 2 missions or 3 missions, and those felt a little more anticlimactic. But I'm pretty sure there was a big boss at some point.
That was so
few
long
weeks
ago.
ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I forgot. It's fine. But I really enjoyed it. It's like the first game ever that we've played that I'm the best at.
Mm-hmm.
And I need
all
to,
the enemies.
Yes, and I'm just like,
the headshots,
this is never gonna happen again, and I need to relish in this moment because you or Briz are always the best. Like I love it when they give you numbers at the end. Like every multiplayer, I think we've said this before. Every multiplayer game should give you numbers and happy circles or things like that let you know like who was the best because competition is everything. And this one was the first one where I actually wasn't like on the very bottom because I'm usually like, I'm here for a good time.
I win at friendly fire.
Yeah, who shot the other opponent or your friend the most? That was me. But this one was like the first one I was really good at. Maybe it was because my class. And I refused to once I saw those numbers, I'm like, I'm never changing my class again. This is it. I shoot arrows, give me all the ammunition. And I kind of felt like the sort of puzzliness, like the puzzliness was definitely in that first campaign, but some of the DLCs, like they lost some of the puzzliness, which I wish they kept, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And we also did the one round of the roguelike thing. Yeah. And I just felt like that was just a little too long, you know? And
yeah, a little too, again, just kind of like randomized. It didn't feel like it was like there was a real point to it other than just get to the end. But yeah, I did find it was fine. Like the gameplay was the same, but it just, I like the campaign. I like this is where you start, this is where you end. That was just sort of like, you know, a little purposeless, I guess.
Yeah, agreed. It was a great, I mean, again, one of the best games we've played in a long time because all of our co-ops recently have been sucking ass. So now we have to wait until Redfall. So I don't know what we're going to do until then. We're going to play like Plate Up or something. I don't know. Just really stress ourselves out with like cooking.
Oh yeah, more Overcooked. Oh, Overcooked?
I know there's Plate Up, and then there's Cannibal Crusade.
Oh yeah,
Cuisine.
Cannibal something. Yeah.
Yeah, that we should try probably, and Briz will sit there and go, I need an adult. Yeah. But yes, Warhammer Vermintide. 2 thumbs up. First Warhammer game. Great. With friends. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
What else have you played?
So just quickly, I finished Grime finally. I just wanted to give a little update because last time I talked about it, I had just gotten hard stuck on a boss. I finally managed to defeat the boss and go through the rest of the game. It's a really fun game. I'm actually making a review on it. I have to write my script now. But I just love the aesthetic of it so much. Like I play so many pixel Metroidvanias, which I love. But this is nice and just like pretty kind of surreal, a little horrible graphics of just like these misshapen rock people and these weird plants and just looks so cool. It has this amazing absorb mechanic because your head is a black hole, so something attacks you and rather than parrying it, you like absorb part of its health into you. And it's a really cool concept. It has some interesting platforming abilities that I hadn't seen before towards the end of the game. And yeah, I ended up really liking it, even though it was at times, I found it very, very difficult.
Oh, great. So even after you got stuck at that one boss that you said you were stuck at, were there other instances after that you were like banging up your head against the wall because you were stuck, or just like really that one boss?
There was another optional boss that I actually quit and just like was like, I'm gonna just go explore more, and I found a different boss to fight first, but I went back later and killed it. But yeah, and even the final boss was fairly difficult. So no, a lot of the bosses were pretty hard. And some of the platformer is pretty hard too.
Oh great. So I will avoid this like the plague. Fantastic. I'll just watch you. I'll watch your review and I'll watch other people play it because I love watching those kind of games. But yay, because if it takes me freaking ever to beat fucking Hollow Knight, Grime is probably gonna kick my fucking ass.
Yeah, it was difficult, but good. So
good. What did I play?
What else have you played?
Okay, so we'll talk about Gang Beasts. So on my happy little trip down to Virginia, we decided we were going to play some fun co-op-y things, drinking.
Nice.
Saturday night drinking, playing things.
All right.
Yeah. So Briz downloaded Gang Beast, which is a 4-player co-op game very similar to like Human Fall Flat. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I have. Is it like weird controls?
Yes.
Kind of thing? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you play a kind of thing that looks like Among Us, but floppy. And you can have like different skins or whatever. And there are different modes you can play. And most of the time we just played like as a team and fight the CPU and go through waves, so the CPU gets stronger and stronger. And as well as like football, which is like so it was literally like soccer or 2 versus 2 PvP. Those were pretty much the modes that we played at. And I have to say, it was fun for drinking and being drunk and playing it together on the couch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I honestly think I would not like it even online, because I think it's one of those games, it's the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
Because the inputs are so weird. Like, I'm like even at one point, we're playing the football one, and none of us knew how to kick the ball except Travis. And Travis is just kicking the ball. And we're like, how are you kicking the ball? I'm like literally pushing every button. He's like, you guys aren't pushing X when you're next to it? I'm like, no. Because there's no intuitiveness to it whatsoever. And even when you push the button, like I push the button, I raise up my hand, the input to it is like so delayed. You know what I mean? Like it's not responsive enough for me to be like, oh, that's what that means. So because you're a squiggly little thing and you're just trying to like kick things off the ledge, like I think that was the intention. And I'm not into that. But it was super fun playing with all of us on the couch together drinking. Like I get that, but as a game for co-op online, fuck no. So
okay.
So
yeah, I think I've seen the little icon on Xbox, but I've never tried it. It definitely looked like one of those like online games that I wouldn't generally gravitate towards.
No. I mean, even for us, like for our Wednesday night group, I wouldn't suggest that for us. Because one, we would not be drinking hardcore, and you need to be drunk to play this game. Yeah. And it just being on the couch with somebody screaming at each other, like that's the fun part. Versus not that I don't love our online, but you know, there's a different type of game for that, and this isn't it. So yeah, Gang Beasts. What else have you played?
So I just played something on Valentine's Day. I decided to do an impromptu Valentine's Day stream since I didn't have anything else going on. And a game came out that day called 10 Dates. And this is an FMV game by Wales Interactive, who have made a bunch of FMV games. And it's basically like an FMV dating simulator. So you start out and you can be either the woman or the man character, but they're basically best friends, and the woman's like, I've signed up for speed dating, and I signed you up too. So depending on who you play, you get a series of 5 dates, little mini speed dates, and you sort of talk to them, you get to know them, flirt with them, and after the end of the first round, depending on how well you got on with people and if you like shared contact information, then you go on to the next round where it's like you can pick 2 people to go on a date with. And then the third round is like you pick one final person to go on a date with. So it's actually really well done. Like the acting, the writing is all really good. Like the chemistry between the characters is all very impressive. So I went through the first time as the woman, and there was a few people I was interested in. One person was kind of like, it's in London, and he's kind of like a lad's lad. Like he looks like a party dude. His name is Bash, or as nickname is Bash, and he just looks like a guy who spends a lot of time drinking with his bros in the pub. And then for some reason, I only got 4 dates, but then as you go to wait for your friend, you meet a girl at the bar. So her, I also got on with. So I tried to go on both of those paths, but chat wanted me to go with Bash, so I ended up going through all of his storyline, finding out he was deeper than he first appeared, and going that way, and I got the sort of good ending with him. And then I went again playing as the guy, and there were a number of different choices there. Like there's one psychologist who was not at all impressed with me. Someone, again, that chat wanted me to go with, talked about NFTs a lot, which I wasn't really into, but she was just like always hustling. Like she had bought her own apartment. She was like, I think, an esthetician or a nail technologist, and she was also in school. And so I started going out with her, and she was fun. But I got to the final date with her, and at the beginning of the very first date, she said like, "Oh, do you rent or own your flat?" And I told her I owned it, even though that was clearly a lie. And then at the last date, you get to the date, the guy's like, "Oh, I just have to like go to the bathroom." And a notification pops up on his phone saying like, "Hey, I didn't get your rent check yesterday. Can you please send it to me?" And she sees it and she bounces. And, so I did not get a happy ending that game.
Wow, lady, Jesus. You got standards. You got to be able to own a place. Fuck.
And also not lie about it.
I mean, I guess that's true.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's actually really good. I played a little bit more just on my own because the first time I was playing, there was this one dude who just looked like a douchebag. He was like, had his motorcycle helmet on the table, and he had like nail polish on, but like I was like, "Hey, what's with the motorcycle helmet?" And he's like, "I don't like being interrogated." And I was like,
hot.
Really? Like, are you serious? And he just fucking whipped out his phone and ignored me for the rest of that. So I took that personally, and I was like, next time I'm gonna get you. And I did, and I got right to the end with him, and I fucked it up in the last possible minute.
No! I wanted hot ignory guy. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, we had 3 really good dates until I screwed it up. But yeah, it's a really fun game. It's really, really well done.
Oh, that's fun. I love how video games can replicate real life. Fucked up the last date. What can I say? Fun. And the FM, so it like looks really good and stuff, and all the actors are good. I love it.
Oh yeah, the actors are great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I have to check that out because I love stupid. I want a date. I want to go on 10 dates. Oh my god. Oh, love it. So this next one we both played. I mean, not together.
Yes.
Separately.
No.
With other people.
Separately.
We're cheating on each other.
Separately with other people.
We played It Takes Two.
Yes.
You've actually finished it. I'm towards the end, but let's just say I finished it, because at this point, when this actually released, I'll probably have finished it, because Bruce wants to game every other night. So it's fine. So It Takes Two is a game that teaches kids about really poor relationships. Or how to deal with poor relationships, because if you just wish upon a star that your parents are going to get back together, apparently that's going to happen and be true.
Apparently they will. Yeah. You're a couple who is on the verge of a divorce. You tell your child, "We're getting divorced," and she's like, "Okay." And she wishes that you won't, and then you turn into toys.
Yep,
and
that she's created, that you need to get through the house and figure it out.
Being accosted by this horrible book that is also a book that the child has for some reason about, I don't know, reigniting love or whatever the hell it's about. But yeah, so you just have to make your way through the house, figure out how to get back to your human form while maybe rekindling your relationship, possibly.
Yeah.
Also, the daughter's real dumb. Like, the daughter is not smart. She's like, "Mommy, Mummy, look, this plant is... Oh, no, Mummy doesn't care about the plant. Whatever the mother cares about. Mummy, this vinyl. And Mummy's, like, unconscious. Mom's, like, dead on the couch. And she's like, okay, will you enjoy your nap then? Like, this kid is stupid.
This kid is stupid.
Oh, just wait till the end of the game. She gets even more stupid.
Great. Love it. I just got past, I'm not going to spoil too much, but I just got past the elephant.
Oh my god! The tonal shifts in this game. It's like, it's all like cute and cartoony, and you're like, the wife is this like little like yarn doll, and the husband is this like made of clay. And he kind of looks like a plant. And it's like this cute stuff, and then, okay, so I'll spoil the first, I think it's the first level. The first level, you end up against the vacuum cleaner, who the wife was supposed to fix, and the husband put him away, and so this vacuum cleaner has a vendetta, and you end up sucking its eyeballs out with its own hose.
Yeah, it got so dark, and it
got so dark.
That's like that slow, like going into the eyeball, and you're like,
it's like Dead Space 2. It's like, oh god, like.
It's like, what is happening? Oh my god. It's like, it's so cute in its imagery. And then it just like, it's so fucking dark. It's like, oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. Did you like it?
I actually really liked it. I'm trying to just, who's the maker of this?
Oh, he's the guy who made A Way Out. We played that whenever I visited.
Yeah, it's the guy that made A Way Out. So we played A Way Out together a while ago, and this dev really likes co-op. Like, the first game was Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which was technically a single-player game, but you controlled both brothers with one controller. And then he made A Way Out, which is also like, you can only play it co-op. It Takes Two, you can only play it co-op, whether on couch or online. So he's just really into the co-op experience. And I really liked it. I liked how every world, you each got a different power, and it changed every time. So like the gameplay kept evolving and changing, because I always like that, so that things don't get too stale.
I agree. The one thing I have about the game, though, like, I really like the different powers and stuff and such. I just think it could be a little bit shorter.
It could be a little bit shorter. It went on longer than I expected it to go.
Yeah.
Like, I would say if you just did the elephant, you're maybe a little over halfway. Like, it's
Jesus fucking Christ! I thought I was towards the fucking end. I'm not. Oh my god!
You probably got a good 4 or 5 hours.
Fuck! Okay, never mind. Guess I'm not towards the end, and I won't be finished in this time. I mean, I'll finish it, but it's like, God. Yeah, I think it feels long now, so I can't wait for the end when it feels even longer. But I do like the story. I do like those two characters, the two main characters, and the dynamic and such. Do I really agree with the messaging that it's trying to say? No. But
I don't know about that either.
Yeah.
But I do. Yeah, I find the story can get a little silly and overwrought sometimes.
How Lily.
But but the gameplay is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And obviously you can only play it co-op. So I love this developer though, because I think it was like, what was the Game Awards last year? Because this game, I almost spelled. This game won Game of the Year this past year, which beat like Elden Ring and such. And the developer did it?
No, it was the year before. Oh, the year before. Yeah.
My bad. He was like cursing at the Game Awards, so I'm just like, this guy's hilarious.
Oh yeah, the first time he ever went to the Game Awards, when he was about A Way Out, he was like, "Fuck the Oscars, this is where it's at."
Okay, can you swear here? Can you swear? Okay, fuck the Oscars, you know? Fuck the Oscars! Fuck you! I'll tell you!
Yeah. Yeah. He's a funny guy, but yeah, I really like it, and I look forward to whatever game they put out next.
Absolutely. Last game. What you play?
Last game, another game that is a replay, Kingdom 2 Crowns, which is like one of my favorite games that I can just play forever. Between Kingdom and Kingdom 2 Crowns, I have put so many hours into this. I just lay in bed, I play the game, I prop up my phone on my chest, and I put on an ASMR video. You just play this ruler. It's like this very simple UI, beautiful pixel graphics, and you sort of build up this kingdom. So you like build up walls, and you get archers, and you get builders, and you sort of build certain things, and then every night you're attacked by these monsters called the Greed. And so you have to know, like, oh, did I build up enough defenses during the day to withstand this attack at night? And you defeat the Greed, and you sort of hop from island to island until you finish the game. So Kingdom 2 Crowns was this follow-up, and the reason it's called 2 Crowns is because you can play it co-op. So I never played it co-op, though I only ever played it on my own. But they recently put out a new DLC with Challenge Islands, which was just sort of like randomly generated islands. So you get like a random power, you get a random island, you know, what kind of abilities and things you can find on it are randomized, and so I played through that co-op, which was a lot of fun. It's like a really super chill game, but also kind of addicting. So to beat the game, we both had to save a dog, because there's always a dog, and you save the dog, and it will like bark to let you know which way the enemy is coming from. But the Greed can steal your dog, and that usually always happens to me. But the way to win this was to save your dogs, keep your dogs the whole time, and then defeat the Greed. And you defeat the Greed by like killing all of their portals, and then finally going into their final spot and blowing it up. And so we spent quite a few hours on this, and we defeated the Greed. We got the Cursed Crown, which is like the special crown you get for beating the level, but there was no ending. Like, there was no end screen. They're saying, like, you defeated the Greed, it took you this long, this is how many things you bought. Like, in the main game, there was, like, no achievement for it or anything. So it was just, like, it was fun. Like, I had a lot of fun playing it, and it was good to finally play that game co-op, but it was just, like, well, we won, I guess. No, the game's not going to validate that in any way, but there's nothing left to do because we've killed all the Greed.
No,
so
I need closure.
I guess I know I need closure. Like, because we're just sitting there and like didn't want to turn it off. Like, I mean, like we won, right? Right? I mean, we won. Yeah.
What? No.
Yeah.
Give me that satisfaction. Like, yay, I did it. I need closure. God.
Yes.
But it was.
But yeah, it was fun.
Oh my god, it was fun until we got to the end, and I was left hanging, sitting there alone on the ledge.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. How long did that take you? Because that sounds not longish.
Maybe 4 or 5 hours total.
Nice, nice. So definitely shorter than It Takes Two for co-op.
Definitely shorter than It Takes Two.
That sounds fun though, especially dogs.
It was.
Fucking games should have more dogs.
Dog. Except their dog gets stolen. My dog always gets stolen. So
I will cry. I will literally cry and be like, like running after the dog, screaming at my TV. Like, no, bring back my dog. That would be me.
All right. What about pickups? Do you have any pickups to share?
Well, I have a couple things. You have more fun. Honestly, yours are way more fun than mine. Let's be real. I'll start with the vinyl because I got Cult of Lamb.
That's so cute. I love that cover.
Isn't it adorable? And the vinyls itself are really cool looking. So this is Cult of Lamb, which we've both played and both finished. Like, look at that!
Oh, I love the black and red splatter.
Yes, and it's got.
And I love how it. Oh, I love how it like goes so well with this, but it like doesn't match at all with the flowers. Like this is like, oh yeah, perfect, and this is just like, ah.
Yay! The other one, it's a 2-disc vinyl. Where did I get this from? I don't remember. I think I got it from Sono, shipped to Sono, which I order from, pre-order from Lot. I forget. Who fucking knows? But yeah, honestly, I thought the Cult of Lamb music was okay. It's good, like, background music, honestly, whenever I'm working. But I just loved the art. Like, who doesn't love that? I'm such a sucker for vinyl art. Like, you just put good art on the cover. I'm like, yay, I'm buying it. Take my money. So
Yeah. That's cool.
What else? What did you get? You got something way more fun.
So, I mean, I don't have anything to show for this, but I upgraded my PC.
That's way more fun. Let's be real.
I was streaming one day and my, like, frame rate just went to shit just playing this demo of this, like, 2.5D game. And I open my task manager and it's like 100% of your GPU is being used. And I was like, okay, this is probably not a good sign. So I knew that would also mean getting a new power supply. So, like, literally, like, my stream was on Thursday night. Friday morning, as soon as the store opened, I was just like, these are my current specs. Give me a graphics card. So I didn't go for, like, the top, which is, like, the 4070 or whatever. But I went for, like, a 3070, which is still, like, way better than what I had, and a new power supply. I built it all myself, which I've never done before. I didn't break anything. Everything works. I'm amazed at myself. And yeah, everything works much better now.
Yes. I love it when we get, because me and you are the same in this aspect. When something is not working or something we just go fucking buy it.
Immediately.
We give zero shits. I love it.
I went on Discord and I was like, what graphics card should I buy? And, like, one person responded to me. I'm like, okay, I'll do that.
That's it. We're doing it. Like, here we go. And they're like, everyone's like, oh. It's like, no. We don't shop around.
No,
we hit the purchase button.
I need it right now. Yep. I'm not dealing with this bullshit any longer.
I love it. I love our spending habits. Is it the smartest? No. Who gives a shit? I want it now.
No. I've made a series of, questionable financial decisions over the last month, but, whatever. I'm happy.
Exactly. I was like, the other day, I was like, I've got a couple things in my cart. I'm surprised I have not purchased it yet, because I was like, I'm getting paid. I mean, I'm getting paid.
I was feeling left out for not having any vinyl pickups in the last little while, so they're not here yet, but I do have 3 new video game vinyls on the way. One is one I've been looking for a long time. One is actually, for the first time ever, a game I have not played, but the soundtrack is amazing. And the third one was like, oh, I didn't know this was on vinyl. I'll take it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of vinyl I have that I have not played. So sometimes you just gotta do it. I paid $120 for Valhalla. What's it called? Valhalla, the bartending game.
Oh, Valhalla, yeah.
Yeah, I paid like $120 for like a 6. It's not 6.
Oh yeah, it's. I think it's 4, at least 4. Like it's a big set. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was and I've only played like an hour of the game since I purchased it. I was like, I want it.
Yeah.
Do I regret it? Absolutely fucking not. So, yes. My next pickup is a Super Nintendo game. So I had got. Okay, when I say I got, it's literally my family. I think I've mentioned this before. My family likes to look at auctions and such for video games, and whether they go into the collection for my sister and for my dad, or whether, I mooch off them, or it gets sold, not sold, but like we trade it in to stores in order to get the things we really want, because that's what it's all about versus resale to make a profit. We don't do that. So they had acquired a lot that had a bunch of Super Nintendo games with super crispy boxes. And I got Ren and Stimpy Time Warp, which I've never played.
Okay.
I think, when I say never played as an adult, I remember renting this as a kid from like Blockbuster or like Hollywood Video. And it was okay. Like I remember being okay, but I profusely remember watching Ren and Stimpy as a kid. Like even when we play some games and you like have to pick up a log or something, I start singing log, log. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
Heavy, it's wood.
So I love Ren and Stimpy, and I don't have much of a collection of the video games here. Like I have a very small display, and I was like, you know what? I want it. So I stole it. I stole it from a family.
Stole it.
Which is all I ever do. Like besides buying the vinyls, I just steal from my fucking sister. So yeah. Super Nintendo super crispy box. Like this box looks brand fucking new.
That does look very crispy.
I'm not obsessed with cardboard, but whatever.
Nice.
Fun. And your second pickup is again way more fucking fun. Just makes me jealous because I want to get one now. What's your second pickup?
My second pickup is a tattoo.
Yeah. Yes.
I've been wanting a video game tattoo for so long, and I've just been such a... Oh, fuck. I was about to say something super annoying. I was about to be like, I've been such a Libra about it, but like, I don't even like that bullshit. Why would I even say that? But I've just been like, oh, but what game? Like, I love Planescape Torment, but like, I don't know, the main symbol there is like way too edgy for me, or like, oh, maybe Mass Effect or XCOM, but no. And then I decided something that made sense was Hollow Knight. Yes! Because I love Hollow Knight, and my favorite charm in the game is the Wayward Compass. And I also frequently get lost, so I could use a compass. But the Wayward Compass also has no cardinal directions on it, so how useful is it? But I got a Wayward Compass with a watercolor splash on it. My arm is very twisted. There we go. Yeah, so I got that almost 3 weeks ago now. So I love it. It's beautiful. The process was nice. Yeah, I'm happy to finally have my second tattoo after like over 20 years since my first tattoo.
Mine's pushing 22, and I'm just like itching for another one at this point. And I love a forearm tattoo. Like I just that spot is so
I like it.
So good. How long does that take?
3 hours for everything.
Oh,
2.5, 3 hours.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. Not too bad. Yeah, and the whole compass, like, I didn't even feel it. This was all just like, oh, this doesn't hurt at all. When they started doing the watercolor and they brought out the tattoo needle that had like 4 or 5 needles across, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I can feel this. But, yeah, the process was nice. It's healing pretty well. I think that there's a couple little spots I might just need to get a little bit touched up, but, yeah, it went fairly quickly. It was comfortable. I'm happy with it. And this is just like such a good spot, especially like, oh, compass. Like,
where am I going?
Yeah. Where am I going? What am I doing in life? Tell me.
Fucking love it. I love how you got a Hollow Knight tattoo. I'm so jealous when you got it, and I was like, don't do it right. Don't get another tattoo right after Pam, because all you're gonna be like, well, you're just copying Pam. Like, yeah, so. So I literally started Googling, like, what would I get? What would I do? I'm like, so I'm still debating because I don't know what I want. I don't. So we'll figure it out. But I'm so happy for you. It looks so beautiful. I'm so jealous. It's like,
I'm very happy with it. And the watercolor was kind of like a game time decision, because I sent them this, and then I was looking through the tattoo artist's Instagram, and I was like, can you like spice it up a little bit? And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I really like this line work, but I really like this watercolor. And he's like, okay, like, you have to tell me which one. I was like, oh, watercolor. And then I did the colors, so I did like blue, like the City of Tears, and purple, like the crystal cave, crystal something, and then like the like swampy green. So like, yeah, I was real particular about the colors, because like the watercolor, when they make the stencil, they just kind of like auto-generated in Photoshop. They're just like, here. And I was like, no, not those colors. No, the color needs to be like this, not like this. And like, I was like, real picky about the colors.
Good. You should be picky. It's the rest of your life you're looking at that thing on your forearm. Let's be picky. Let's be particular. They can conform. The rest of your fucking life.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, yay. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see it in person. And I just feel like even more and jealous even more. So yay. But that's an episode, yeah?
That is an episode, yeah.
It's an episode. We feel good.
I feel good. Where are we at? Hour 10? Not too bad. Not too long. Not too short. Yeah. So thank you all for listening or watching. If you want to talk to us, you can email us questions or comments at pointanddrinkadventure@gmail.com or leave us a comment on the YouTube videos. We do read all of them, and we notice that more people watch the YouTube videos than listen to the podcast, which is good because it's better.
That's preferred, honestly. It's preferred. Yeah. I cut it for YouTube and then I just like poof into the audio version. I was like, so please please watch it on YouTube because I add stupid shit into it.
Yeah. Although if you do listen on iTunes or Spotify, if you want to drop us a review, you can. I tried to give us a review on Spotify, and it was like, you've never listened to this on Spotify. You can't review it. And I was like, well, good point. Okay. Like, yeah.
I love how you tried to review. I didn't even think of that.
No, like I always thumbs up my own videos. Like I was like, I can do it. Like I can review it. And it was like, nope, you need to listen to this podcast before you review. I was like, well, I'm never listening to it on Spotify, so it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Spotify. Yeah. Go shit brick. Anyways, but if you like what you heard here, check out some more fun podcasts at our friends at polymedianetwork.com. Drunk Friend, Indie Quest, Tales of Lesser Medium, all of that fun jazz.
I thought you were all that fun drag. It's like
all that fun drag.
No. I mean, sure, yeah.
Someday, Pam, we're just gonna make a drag episode.
We're definitely going to do that.
We're so going to make a drag episode. This is an idea that literally just popped in my head now. I don't know why this has not popped in my head before, but we're going to make a drag episode in the future. But yes, check out our friends over at polymedianetwork.com and drink well, my friends.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.